Started, there's the recording. I've started this week, the whole week, giving you all those guides and tasks, and hopefully that has given you a little bit of value. Those are some of the things that I have been using. But anyway, so for my final hurrah, here's the presentation that I was going to share with you, which I actually literally did 2 hours ago. So if I start stuttering and muttering and being all over the place, just kind of be like, back yan, back, stop digressing. So anyway, this is the 6 human needs. I think with the Tony Robbins training, this particular topic really called out to me because I wasn't really aware, I mean, we all know what our basic needs is, but this is actually pertaining to more, your mental, emotional, psychosocial needs that um, realizing that if you actually understand this, you can unlock your potential. And I'm still slowly building myself to understand more of this, but actually doing this presentation today made me realize other things are starting to click even more. So hopefully I could share a little bit of value, given that this is just kind of a crammy presentation that I did, but we can get started. And hopefully this it won't take too long because I want to give you guys your time with your family. So let's get started. So this was the Unleash the Power Within seminar that Tony Robbins did. And like I said, the 6 human needs is basically what really called it to me. So let's get to it, Jenna. Click. So why is it important? So why do we have to understand this 6 basic needs? I mean, there is a hierarchy of needs for, like, food, shelter, and clothing, but this is not it. This is more towards, your personality. So these needs must be met. We have different goals, desires, but across the board, whatever culture, whatever background you come from, these are all the needs that are we are we these are the needs that we are experiencing in our lives. So everyone has the same needs worldwide. We don't value these 6 needs equally. However, we value this, and we also value these needs differently, to create a meaningful life for us. And these needs are not in order, as the same order for everybody. And to feel a sense of fulfillment, you have to meet these needs. So understanding these needs can either empower you or disempower you. And that's what I'm saying, because these needs actually can go both ways. It could either go negatively or impactfully positively. Next slide, Jen. Yes. Thank you. So the first need is, number one, is certainty. Like, if you're not certain right now that your shelter is safe, you wouldn't be here listening to my live, right? That's an example of certainty. If you're not certain that, Sandra, I can see you, that your couch is comfortable, you wouldn't be there. Like, you would find another place to sit and listen to my PowerPoint. So absolute certainty is that you can't function without this certainty unless you feel safe right now where your spot is, that you are okay to listen to this. This will not be your priority right now. So those are the kind of example of absolute certainty. It's a survival mechanism, right? The roof in our house, the floor in our homes. If you're not certain that these things work, then you're not here. So it's also a base level of certainty where you're comfortable. If this comfort is threatened, then nothing else function. So that's more like our basic needs: food, shelter, water. So it's a global need. It doesn't matter who you are, like I said, what your language is, what your culture is. It all boils down to this certainty. Like, there is this need. This is not a negotiable need for us. However, what this is also very flexible, because with this certainty, you create a routine for yourself, because you want to be certain that these are the things that you follow in your daily life. And if you like, for instance, you surround yourself with smarter people because you want to be in control, you want to know that you're in good hands, you want to know that you have a good influence. Like sleeping, you want to sleep in a secure place, because when you're sleeping, you don't have control of what's happening. But if you know that you're in a safe place, then that's a certainty in your life. But sometimes there's also the negative side of it, where you smoke, or you have addiction, or you have drinking problems, and this is also a certainty in your life, because these are the ones that calms you down, and this is part of your routine. Not that I'm saying that that's bad, but some of these are already a part of our routine and part of our life. So however, when you stick to a certainty, you become bored. And the secret, everybody's life, once you get stuck at a certain level, you start feeling miserable, because you're only meeting one need. And that's why it's also kind of funny how we're going to our next need. Next slide, please, Jen. Which is also uncertainty. So we have certainty, but we also have uncertainty in our lives, because as human beings, we just like to thrive on variety. We like spice, we like adventure. And as much as we want there's certainty in our lives, we also like surprises. If we like the surprise, then we love it. But then if the surprise causes us to has a negative impact to us, then it becomes a problem. So, but we all thrive to have something exciting to happen, right? So the third one is significance. So the significance is our feeling of wanting to be um, unique. We want to have our own identity. We want to feel important. It can also go either negative or positive. We want to have a purpose. And I think all of us are here in this company all already have that longing to be significant, to want to make an impact. So we go participate in religion and beliefs, but then we can also we also start to argue with other um, with other entities in that same religion or beliefs, because we want to make an impact. We want to feel that what we believe in is more impactful than the other person, and sometimes these can create conflict. So, and that's where violence can arise. And that's other people think that's the negative impact of it, is because the fastest way to get your significance back is through violence. Like, if you feel like you're not heard, you're not being heard, you're not given the attention, these are the ways why people with violence with a violent tendency gets back their control. They get back their significance. Put a gun to your head and be like, now I'm more important than you, I get to make the call. So, or you could just be a neutral. You could just, your impact and significance is just, you want to create your own unique individual self. You dress uniquely, like Jenna has her own collection of her shoes, so that becomes your trademark. You buy more toys, you show people that you have a nicer home, you get more degrees, PhDs, you want to become more significant in a sense where you are putting more labels. And that's not bad at all. These are just the tendencies that we do. Okay. And the next one is connection and love. Although, and then here's the conflict again, because as much as we want to be significant, we want to be unique, we also desire to be loved and connected. So while you're trying to be unique, you lose that connection. Like sometimes you get into a relationship and initially, you really like this connection, you really love being like one, with another, and then you panic because you lose your identity. When you become so intimate with a person that you become almost like one, and then you start to lose your own self, and that becomes like a breeding ground for conflict. So then you start creating problems, or you start provoking people, or you pretend to be sick so that you can seek that attention again. um but some of the people do it by connecting with others, by meditating, so making love, or having pets, or there's so many different ways of manifesting connection and love, connection with God, with nature, with people. So connection is safer than love, and most people are thriving more with connection and not really giving love because they're afraid of getting hurt. So where are you in this connection? Are you more into the connection just for association, or are you like one of um the person that just gives love freely, like a sprinkle? So yeah. And then the fifth one is growth, or you grow. So this last two, actually, growth and contribution, are the hardest to reach, because sometimes we just have those top two, although there are six needs. But then growth and contribution, this top the fifth and the sixth, are really hard to reach and really hard to attain, because if you're not growing, you feel like you're dying inside. And I think we know that in being in this network industry, is that we strive to grow, we strive to progress. We have goals, we have a target for the game. Can you imagine if you just sit there doing your routine every single day and there's nothing else to look forward to? And I think that's the problem with Tony Robbins. Actually said that there's a lot of his clients that are famous, that are wealthy, everything is at the tips of their hands, they could attain everything. But then why do some of them kill themselves? Why do they commit suicide? Because I think when it's easy to reach for everything is in your grasp, then there's really no room for growth. Like you don't really have, I mean, I'm happy enough to like be able to save enough money to buy a really nice purse. Like, I know that kind of sounds shallow, but it's like if you're striving for something, then it makes it very fulfilling once you get it, right? So I think that's where growth is, where it can be really impactful if you reach that. But and then even little things, little growths in our lives, that can make a massive difference. Next slide, please, Jen. So, and the last one is contribution. So, I mean, if we are not able to contribute yet, and this is where I think all of us here in Newtonic have the same goal of like having the goal of impacting people's lives, of helping people's lives, because then that's the only time we can say that we are growing, contributing something meaningful to other people. You become a team player. People will do more for others, because the tendency is we actually do more for others than for ourselves. And then we become, and then that's how we feel that we are fulfilled, is because we feel like we're compelled to do more for people. And if we figure this out early on in our lives, that, and I think we would feel more fulfilled, we would feel more satisfied if we actually realize that contributing is actually what can make us happier. You can't sit and do nothing and expect to be happy. I mean, we know that. And and that's what I'm saying, is like if you ever feel super down, in, one day you wake up and you just don't feel like, you're just like, "Ugh," do something nice for someone, and that can totally change your day. It's just that's a need that we have to fulfill. Like, even just to say hi to someone, smile to someone, like that's already giving us a fulfillment that we've done something. We've given part of us to someone. So I mean, these are just all, all of these are all interconnected. So what I want you to do is to figure out what of the top two needs are your most what do you call this, what is more obvious in your life, like what has it cost you? Because what, say for example, my top two would be, one is certainty. I'd like to have full control of everything, but then I'm not flexible. I'm not flexible. I don't make connections because I want everything to be in control, of everything. So I think being able to realize what this top two that you currently have, to be able to change that, might lead you to the next level for your life. And that's the second, is what should your top two be, now realizing what those top two are right now in your life. If you're already at the contribution and the growth, then kudos to you. Like, you're already there. But then it could go back and forth. So how would having this top two needs change your life completely? So I want you to do that on your own. And then this is your homework. I'll share this slide with you in the training hub. But so to be able to fulfill these needs and to really get that sense of connection and real joy, the first one, I know this is really hard, but connecting with someone who is not easy to connect, someone who has hurt you in the past. So Tony Robbins actually recommended calling this person. I know it's going to be really hard, but he said to contact this person or persons or people in your life. You don't have to do it all at the same time. And of course, you have to be ready for it. But, no answering machine, no texting, no leaving them a message. You actually have to connect with this person. You're not starting a relationship with this person again. So it could be an old business partner, an old lover, a family member that you haven't spoken to in a long time. So what you're going to say is, you call them and you tell them that, I know it's been 6 years, 10 years. And, I, something like, the last time we talked, it was really hurtful. Both of us hurt each other, but I just want you to know that I appreciate you. And before that scene, that you are important in my life, and that I'm not trying to make a connection with you again, but I just want you to know that whatever we were before we got in, this disagreement, know that you were an important part of my life. Something like that, something to that extent. I know that's hard because I myself can think of a few, but I think this is the way to heal. This is the way for growth. And if you're able to do this, and I'm sure that person will be like, what just happened? But you don't have to have them say anything. You just have to give your part. You just have to forgive, let go, and heal on your own. And that, I think, is the part of the growth process. So the second one is reconnect with someone that you haven't talked to for a while, but you have a good relationship with. You just were busy. You haven't spoken for 2 years. It's your relationship just drifted away, but there's really no conflict between the two of you. So just get a hold of them, call them, and talk to them and say, I've been thinking about you. I just want you to know that I love you. You're an important part of my life. You're grateful. It just opens up a whole new level in your life. And I think we just need to get into the habit of communicating, of opening our hearts to people, those that hurt us, equally to those who have been part of our lives. And the last thing is list all the key elements of your life. This is actually also kind of leading to opening up that channel again, that network again in your life. And who knows, this might open up what do you call this, an opportunity to talk about the business eventually. So list key members of your life, and on top of on the list, you put a special word or phrases or anything that you want to associate with that person. And the most important question you are going to acknowledge or to remember is, how can you love this person better? Like, how can you give value to this person's life more? And call each of these people, or call this list, eventually get it through this list and reconnect with them. So that's that, guys. I hope that, hopefully that'll help you figure out a little bit. So think about this, sit on these questions. And if you have any more questions about the basic needs, I think just figure out what is more significant at this point in your life. And if you're not convinced that these top needs are making a difference in your life, well, maybe it's time to change it. Maybe it's time to switch things up and consider switching up your needs, because this is also part of that, making or taking uncomfortable actions to be able to level up your life. So if anybody has any questions or anybody has anything similar to share, I would really appreciate if you share with us what your thoughts are. It was really hard for me to narrow down what I was going to present today, because there's just so many things. But I think for me personally, this one has really called out to me, because I was like, oh, that is actually what I've been doing. And so this, like, I could share to you, like, personally, I before, of course, I wanted certainty, because I kind of feel like I'm a type A person. I want to be in control. I always want everything lined up, OCD. And and then I think my second one is definitely, the need for connection and love. But then I wanted to change the certainty into significance. I wanted to be, like, I know it's not, I don't want to receive significance from others to myself. I want to feel like I am significant to be able to share more to others and contribute more. So, I mean, I have switched my mindset to where I'm focused on loving myself more now and giving more to myself. And that's why I have been really advocating for loving yourself more, because if you can't focus on yourself first, how are you able to pour out to others? So I think that's been my massive change that I have done in my life, is just to realize that I actually could love myself more and give myself the grace to, screw things up. Yeah. Who wants to say something? Good morning, you guys.
Hey, Anne, it's Elaine. I put my hand up a second ago. That was a really good
yeah, there you are. Perfect.
Okay. I really enjoyed that. It was really good, actually. Very, I don't know, very significant at this moment in time, isn't it? I'm like you. I like to inspire and give others, but I don't probably take enough time to love myself. And I do give a lot to people. But I do not take enough time for myself at all. And like you say, you can't fuel that, can you? If you don't fuel yourself, you can't give that out to others. But I think I focus too much on giving to others. And that's just me, because I'm just very, let me help you. That's how I am. I'm just like, I need to help you, because that makes me feel good.
Right.
But
Right.
it's not always about that, is it? It's like you say, it's about helping yourself, so then you can then go out and help others.
Right.
Yeah, so, and by doing that as well, you will definitely want to take yourself out of your comfort zone, because you'll push and push so that
Mhm.
you can make yourself feel better, so that you can then go and help others to feel better. Does that make sense? It makes sense in
Yeah,
my
yeah.
head.
No, exactly. Well, because that's what it is because if you're trying to, like, it can go both ways. All of these needs are can either impact you negatively or positively. Like, if you are always giving and giving to people, some people can see that as being such a people pleaser, right?
Yeah,
It's like, but then you do it in a way that you feel like you're contributing something because you like to help out, but
yeah,
then it becomes a problem because now you have put yourself aside and just focusing on helping and helping people, and then you become empty,
yeah. It's true.
because
So I was just going to say that, and then you get to the point where you've nothing left, and it's
you've
true.
nothing left,
Yeah,
and then you get exhausted,
yeah,
and then you
yeah.
get to that
Burnout.
yeah, you get
Yeah,
burnout, you get to that point where you're not growing anymore, you
yeah,
feel like you're stuck, and then what else could you do? So, and this needs, I can kind of, switch back and forth so that you can level up, and you can just, so if you're like, okay, I'm done being significant right now, I kind of want to focus on certainty, and I want to be certain that I love myself,
yeah.
right?
Absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. That resonates with me so much, because I know a while back, and you guys probably know this, I did get a little bit, not so much I had burnout, like you say, I had nothing else. I had nothing. And I think I was putting in the group chats that I literally had nothing, because I'm always giving and giving and giving. And I
Right.
just got to a point where I was stuck, and I was like, and then I don't know, something's just turned in me recently, because I have been spending a bit more time on myself. I have learned to love myself a little bit more. And I just thought, if I don't love myself, how can anybody else? How can
Right.
anybody else like me or love me, or think that what I do is a good thing, if I don't
Exactly.
like and enjoy what I'm doing myself? So I've
Right.
tried to focus a little bit more on myself recently, but I agree, we should be spending more time loving ourselves and showing others, and that inspires others instantly, doesn't it?
Right. 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 You have to have that confidence or exude that, that you are living up to whatever you're preaching, because otherwise it's, people can tell,
Yeah,
people will get that, people catch on that, and then, yeah, it's hard. I mean, we are very hard on ourselves, and that's
yeah,
exactly what this is about. You just have to understand what it is that is holding you back.
yeah. And I think I struggle with that, trying to figure that out, because I always think, well, there's nothing holding me back, but I think maybe it's something in here sometimes that holds me back, and I do.
Mm.
And I said this when I was at the event, like, I get afraid of being vulnerable, because I think of myself as this happy-go-lucky person who helps everybody else. So
Mhm.
how dare you be vulnerable? Because you shouldn't be. You should be happy, and it's not always the way. So I have tried over the last few weeks, especially since we had the event. What I realized was that I was in a room full of people who loved me for who I was, and I was really worried before going to the event, because I thought, what are these people going to think of me? I've never met them before. They're going to think, they're going to not think bad things, but think, I don't know what I was thinking, but I just come out of that room thinking, God, these
That's the
people,
uncertainty thinking.
yeah, and it was amazing. And that's, ever since we've had that, that's kind of switched my mindset up, and I have worked a lot more on being a little bit more vulnerable, and I'm not quite there. And I think Jerry posted something a couple of days ago about telling your story, about telling people your story, and I think Gemma stood up and told us her story, and we were all in tears, and it's just so, if you're real and you're raw,
Yeah.
and like you say, otherwise people see through and think that you're fake, and you're not.
Right.
But yeah, you need to learn to be more vulnerable, definitely, as well, and show people that side of you as well. And it's all right if you've had a crap week and you're feeling like crap,
Right.
that's all
Exactly.
right.
Exactly. It's
Yeah,
exactly. Life is not perfect. We just have
no,
to embrace that and acknowledge, what are these needs that are holding you back? And then what would you change?
yeah,
Which one would you switch it out to make it better?
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Thank you, Elaine. Anybody else has a
Hey,
2 cents?
Yan. Hey.
Joey!
So,
Joey!
that's right. So being Mother's Day may be kind of timely, you know, because as parents, we can give, and give so much of ourselves that we can also sometimes get a little resentful of
Mhm, mhm,
people around us that we're giving and pouring ourselves into that
mhm,
that aren't reciprocating. But what I realized for myself is I set up that scenario often because as a perfectionist, I'll pour myself out there getting things done the way I want them to be done so that, you know, the control thing again, right? So
mhm.
I'm pouring out, I'm trying to get things done the way I want them done. And what I didn't realize is that I'm robbing them of their experiences and their ability to learn through failure and their ability to feel the
Right.
success and
Yeah.
achievement.
Yeah.
And so I think sometimes we hurt others by helping them when they don't ask for it. And if we're more aware of that and what our motivation is behind some of our actions, then maybe we won't be so spent because there will be more of us to give when we allow others to achieve as well.
Right. Right. Yeah. So do you think, Joey, that that would be one of your top needs, is that you the significance part of it? Is that what kind of is?
Well, I think as an ADD person, ADHD person, um, I'm a perfectionist that I've always failed to achieve what I think needs to be made for being perfect, right?
Yeah.
And so it's one of the things that I can use in my mindset to justify where I'm at the status quo because I failed or whatever. But instead, I need to lift those limits, realize that failure is okay too, which I have a lot during this last year, is realizing that failure is growth. I mean, as long as you don't stay down when you fall down, it's just an opportunity for growth. And I've let go of a lot of things. I've let go of a lot of things that have held me down in life, which actually was me holding me down, right? In the long run, it was actually just me holding me down, and trying to evaluate things and figure out what is the payoff in that action. There's certain things I still can't figure out what that payoff is, but I'm still evaluating. And I think that's what's important. If there's something that's holding you down, realize how you're setting that up to happen, and then try to figure out what the payoff is of why you're doing it in the first place. And then you can break through those barriers.
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Good point. Really good point. Yeah. Yeah. The certainty and the uncertainty, but like leading towards growth anyway. Still. Yeah. Lee, Joy.
Joy. I just want to say I read a quote this morning, and I think it was from Will Smith. And you know, in the film when he's got the son, and he said to him, "Don't ever let anyone tell you that you can't do something, not even me." And it makes so much sense because, like, my mom always said I was a drama queen. And then I was like, I wanted to go acting school when, like, because I was good at drama. She's like, don't be ridiculous. Like, and then, but she would always say, no, you can't go there, but you are such a fucking drama queen. And I'm like, well, hello. Do you know what I mean? Like, but she always said, like, you can't do it type thing. So don't let people say that you can't do something because you can.
Absolutely. Yep. Yep. Good point. That's a really good movie, actually. I think I just watched that again. Is that where they sleep in the toilet or something like that?
It's just a wee toot.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
And I think it was his son that acted as his son. No, his real son acted his son, I think.
Right. Right. Now
I'm not a movie buff. I just saw the quote and read it and liked it.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Lee.
You're welcome.
Anybody else have anything to share?
Thank you, Ian, so much for this whole shebang. I have a voice for a minute, so I wanted to be I'm not showing my face, guys, because I am like literally looking rough today.
Never.
You guys are not getting my face today because I'm like, whoa, I don't even want to look at me. But I think all of us just in the network marketing field really need to experience that, because it's like we are the people that absolutely will pour our cups into everybody under the sun at the end of the day. We will pour, and then here we are, like looking rough, feeling rough, right? Like, and it is such a good reminder that we do have to like preserve our own energy and preserve our own like mental space so that we can make sure that we keep showing up for ourselves. And that will make sure that we can keep showing up for everybody else. And I think as a community here, I think the thing that I love so much is that like when one person does feel down, there are so many other people that are on that high that will absolutely like strike out and like pull that person up. Like, I know I feel that a lot. I know, I mean, again, I know you've been feeling like that sort of thing lately. Like you're just feeling like, oh God, like how do I keep going? And
Right.
It's just hard, but I'm sure you've had people come to you and just like pull you along because we're at that energy. So that's like the biggest thing I want to say is like, when you are feeling down, look to the person that has that energy that can pour into you a little bit, but don't ever forget to pour some energy into other people when you are at that point too, because we all need to give and take. And I think we have such a beautiful community itself that I really believe that we do here. And I'm just so thankful for all of you, and thank you for, you know, all the well wishes today and all that sort of stuff. I'm just so thankful for all of your energy and every day people showing up and every day loving each other. But we have to remember to absolutely love ourselves at the end of the day and fill our cup up.
Yep. No, you guys have seen me. I mean, Kirsty has pulled me out of a crying scene. You know, initially on you know, at the start of this week, and after that I just felt like, okay, I'm ready. I'm like ready to bloom now. I'm out of the dark. You know, it's like the seed that you plant, and you know, you just, yeah, I'm ready to bloom. It's like I was under the soil. Yeah. Let's go Zumba. All right, everybody get out. And you know, I know some of you were terrified to get you up and playing at like a US time. It's like you know, 1 a.m. at your time zone. But no, I personally appreciate you guys with all my heart. Like, you've been there, and you know, I don't know all of you, but I just love you all so much, and hopefully this has given you a little bit of value. And I have so much more to give. Just, you know, give me time. And you know, I'm here though. I'm here. I'm always here for you guys. And whatever you need, just let me know.
I just want to hop in as well. Thank you very much, Jan. This week you have been incredible. I know it's taken a lot out of you, but you have done amazingly. So thank you. And Elaine, over to you. We're handing the baton over to you, and you've got a tough week to follow. So good luck.
Are you guys ready to get noisy this week? Like, seriously. Like, yeah. I am at such a good stage with this that, like, Jan, you've been amazing this week. You really have. And I've loved seeing you come back up from, because we know you've been down, and we've pulled you back up, and you're here. And just when we did that live last week, when we all just jumped on, I love that. It was just, we just like randomly jumped on. It was so nice.
Amazing. It was amazing.
Just that, but that's our community for you. When someone's not quite there and they need something, let's just pull them up and get them back to where they need to be. And to watch you come back up this week, Jan, has been amazing, because I've missed Jan. You're our little bundle of fun. I love that little Jan, that bundle of fun that she is, that does their silly TikToks. And I love that about you, because you're just amazing, Jan. So the fact that we've seen you grow back up again this week, the way you have, has been brilliant. And I know, obviously, I think that's helped you being in that leadership this week, because you've really pushed, and you've pushed yourself through it, because you know you had to do it. So that's been really good for you. And hopefully that will bring you back up now, and we're going to see loud Jan everywhere you go. She's there.
That's right. I'm back. Y'all be careful.
And really quickly, I was genuinely looking forward to a bit of Zumba this week. I'm not going to lie to you.
Can we do a Zumba live? Can we?
Genuinely, I thought that Jan was going to do it. I
think we
genuinely
should.
picked her up from crying on her live, randomly jumped on her live from my kitchen with my kids screaming. I was like, come on, sort yourself out. Like, get on with it.
Nan does
Ow,
Zumba live
Zoom.
every day. You just got to go to her wall.
I
Like
know.
every day she
Zumba
posts
I
it.
thought she was going to do one specially for her, like, because she wants to see me move. She's seen my moves. She wants to learn from somebody, you know. I thought I'd teach her some stuff, you know, genuinely, you know.
Oh, you guys tell
Like
me
to clear a room.
a day.
I definitely think we should do a Zoom where we book it in for just the new tonic guys for us to just all get on it. Seriously, I'd do it. Like, let's just do one.
Yeah, you
Like-
tell me the time and the date. I'll be there. I'll get you
Oh
all.
my God, that would be so good. I used
Yeah.
to love Zumba.
That'd
I
be
used to
so
do that
funny.
for years.
I'll
That's
get
so
you all
funny.
I loved it. I used to go all the time and I haven't done it for years.
I've never been, purely because my dance moves are actually like I could be arrested. They're just not something that they do in public. Just because I've got no coordination.
Funny.
I'm genuinely that crazy blonde that just whirlwinds around the floor like, yeah.
Make sure you won't get
All right.
arrested on our class. I promise you.
I'll
no,
learn.
Seriously,
Yeah.
guys, like I'm so looking forward to this week because I really wanted to get like really loud this week, like really loud. I mean, we've been loud before, but I think we've kind of plateaued a little bit, and I think we really need to have a week where everybody goes, "What on earth is going on? Who are these people?" I think it would really help everybody. So I've literally got like 4 or 5 pages of stuff written down that I've just been writing. I'm going to throw the tasks at the leadership team every day, and then I'm going to put them into the training hub. But I want you guys pushing out of your comfort zones. Like, I'm not afraid to push and do something and think about how I'm going to do it later. I don't, even when I do a live, I don't plan a live. I don't have notes. I just go on and talk.
Yeah.
Like, I never write notes, and people say you should write bullet points, and I never do. I just think I'm going to go live, I'll talk. Or I'm going to do a reel, I'll just do a reel. Everybody can do a reel, everybody can do a live. And it'd be great to see so many people live on their profiles, even if you are petrified of doing one. If you guys want me to come on a live with you, then message me. Like, seriously, I'll put it into the training hub each day. If you want me to do one with you, I'll do one with you. If you're frightened of doing one by yourself, get one of us guys who don't mind doing them to do them with you. That's how you talk.
I'll do the lives with anyone.
Yeah, and there's so
We're
many
all
of us-
ugly criers. We're all emotional people. Legitly, like, I got the most interaction from one where I was just trying to say about my growth, and I was literally a blubbering mess. I was
Oh
like, this
my
is
gosh.
great. Like,
it's real.
great.
It's
Yeah.
real.
I think it's just,
That's the
you've got to
thing.
be real, you've got to be you,
Yeah.
and it just completely, and just hold yourself accountable. Like,
Yeah.
so many of us are like, oh yeah, I've done this, I've done that. Literally be like, I've done your tasks today, I've done them. Like,
Yeah.
own up to it, say you've done it, say you're in there, say you're in there, like you're
Yeah.
active with us. Because some of us leaders have led weeks and we're just like, we're working really hard to kind of try and bring everybody up and the vibe up. We want you to kind of say, yeah, I'm here, I've done it with you.
Yeah.
Well,
Let's-
I want to back up on that one, Kirsty, because I was like, I actually, honestly, I'm such a procrastinator, and that's really one thing that I really need to work on, but I believe I work better under pressure, because like I wasn't ready at all for this week. Like, you guys know that I was about to give up this weekend, like the weekend before this. I was like done, but you guys pulled me up, you guys encouraged me. And, somebody told me that this is actually the best way to go back, because like you're now, in the bottom, and now you have to really level up your game. And I think this is really what you need. So don't give up yet. Just give it one more try. Just give it one more try. Give it your all. And it's like every day I'm like, oh, I have to do a task list again. And guess what? It's like, oh, Yuki's gonna wake up and like this. It was like that for me, but I'm like, no, I'm gonna do this. And it's that pressure, and at the same time expectation, that really got me disciplined and motivated, because it's like, I'm not doing this for me. I'm actually doing this for everybody. It's not for me. And that feeling of the need of being able to contribute is like, it's the motivating factor for me. And it was like, and then when you guys send me your little notes that, you know, you did it, and you're because I was like, they're not even doing it anyway, so why do I have to do it, you know? And then it's all of these self-limiting beliefs. It's like, oh, I don't want to do it anymore. But no, I was like, I'm gonna push myself. Even if they don't do it right now, they'll have it, and if they're ready, they'll come back to it. So I was like, okay. But it's like every day, 2 hours, UK's waking up, I need to get this done. It was like,
But people just need to
oh,
be honest with themselves. Like,
yeah.
I held myself accountable I've literally been so busy this weekend that like Friday through to like, I've only just sat like from another meeting, like legitly, like I was honest. I was like, I've saved those, I haven't quite done them. Like,
Yeah.
just use our chats as a little bit of a, like, I haven't done it today, but I'm going to do it tomorrow. Like, I'm going to nail it. Tomorrow's
Right.
always a fresh day. Just keep moving forward.
And everybody can do it as well. I mean, like, you know, there's plenty of us in here who work full time, who are busy, and we get on and do it, and we can do what we need to do. And like you say, it's holding yourself accountable for doing. You can do your DMO every day, but are you doing the actual tasks that need to be done? Are you connecting with people? Are you in people's inboxes? Are you? And that frightens some people. It really does. It frightens people to be in people's inboxes, but it can be so simple, and it doesn't have to be complicated.
Right. Yeah.
You've got to build your network and your profile, and you've got to. My followings have gone from my followings on Facebook have just gone like insane. They've gone from like 500 people to like over 1,000 people in like a couple of weeks. It just keeps growing, and it's because I'm out there and I'm connecting and I'm doing and I'm talking, and then someone will go on to your page. I think of every way. I'm in groups, I'm talking to people, I'm networking, I'm out there putting myself out there. And if you're afraid of putting yourself out there and talking to people, then you've got to get out of that, because you're in the wrong business if that's the case, because networking is called networking. I put something in the group today, and Fraser Brooks had said it, you know, it's about friendships and it's about, you know, partnerships, and it was such a good way of looking at it. And you've got to really push yourselves and get yourselves out there. I used to be, when I started networking 3 years ago, I was petrified, absolutely petrified. I had about 400 friends on my Facebook. That was it. I didn't know anybody, and I was worried about what all my family would do. The worst people who think anything about it are your family and friends. You've got to just forget it. You've got to forget what they think, because eventually, do you know, my family now actually think that what I do is great. They love it. And what I do outside of work, the people who I work with love what I do. They come to me at work and they go, I think it's amazing what you do outside. The fact that you've got that confidence to go out and do it. My husband understands why I do what I do, which has took me 3 years to get my husband to understand it. Anyone who's married or got a relationship, that's probably one of the hardest things.
Yeah.
Is getting your partner to understand what you're doing. It really is. Now,
Exactly.
It's really hard to get them to understand why you do what you do. But once you start showing that you consist, it's no good turning up for 10 minutes one day and then don't turn up for 3 or 4 days, and then turn up again for an hour, but then you don't turn up for 3 or 4 days. If you're consistent, you're every day, persistent, consistent, keep going every day, put something out there, then everybody eventually sort of goes, actually, she's quite serious about this. So it, you know, that for me is massive. And that's what I'm hoping this week is I'm going to get a lot of you consistent this week, like every day. Like, who's up for doing a reel every single day?
Yay!
Who's up for posting on for posting on the stories every day?
Yeah.
Who's up for posting results on the stories every day? Who's up for talking on the stories every day? Let's do it. Stop thinking about, I'm going to do that later. I have 2 minutes before I go into work in the morning. I literally pull up, drop Damien off at work, get out the car, and I look at my clock and I go, right, I've got 2 minutes before I go out. Right, I'm going to talk on my story then quick. I'm in my work uniform, sat in my car, I'd work ready to go in, but I look at my clock and think I've got 2 minutes.
And that's what I said. It's like, you know, I do this in the little pockets of time that I have. Yeah. So if you have more time, imagine how much more you can do. Just get out of your head, get into your heart, come from that place of servitude. You are here because you want to do more. This is not just about the money. I know that. You know that in your heart, that you have what it takes. You have what it takes to make a difference. And you know that, and that's why you're here. Because like I said, I could do an extra shift at the hospital and get that money. I could do that. But I don't want to do that. I love doing this. You know, doing something that you're not passionate about becomes a task.
Yeah.
But doing
Absolutely.
something that you're very passionate about, it's called passion. So I think I'm just going to close with that. And you guys have the best week next, starting tomorrow with Elaine. And hopefully I was able to like give you a little bit of value. And I'm here. If you have any questions, please just, you know, message me. You know, I'm always available, always awake, might not be always, you know, alive, but in a zombie mode, but I'm still here.
Coffee.
Yes, just coffee. As long as I have my coffee. And so hopefully you guys will keep pushing yourselves, because I know you can do it. We all can do it. We will have our season, and we are all going to see each other at the top. Love you all. Mwah.
Thank you, Jan.
Bye.
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 Right.